Chapter 8 The Gray Ghost. "Wait a minute," said Jack, stunned. "The Gray Ghost is a snow leopard, and she's your friend?" "Yes," said Tenzin. "In my youth, snow leopards were called gray ghosts. We thought of them as guardians of the mountains." The snow leopard brushed her head gently against Tenzin's face. She kept her long, furry tail wrapped around him. "She's guarding you now, I think," said Annie. "Yes, she is," said Tenzin quietly. "I told her of my sorrow." "That's amazing," said Annie. "When did you first meet her?" "Many years ago. Whenever I climbed alone, she would appear," Tenzin said. "Finally, we sat together and looked at the world below. But I have not seen her since." He looked away. "Since I lost my family." The snow leopard still didn't move. As she stared at Jack and Annie, Jack remembered their rhyme. "The gray ghost of the mountains, the phantom of snow, has a secret to tell you that very few know. Alone on the hillside she hides in plain sight. Her wisdom speaks softly in shadows and light." Jack looked into the big cat's soft green eyes. He looked hard and tried to grasp her wisdom. The snow leopard held his gaze. Jack could tell that she was strong and gentle, but he couldn't figure out her secret. Again the cat brushed her head against Tenzin's face. Then she rose up and leapt from the rock. The snow leopard seemed to fly through the air. She bounded up the slope until she was out of sight. "Goodbye," Annie called after her. "Wait," said Tenzin. "In a moment she will tell us goodbye herself." "You mean she'll come back to us?" asked Annie. "No. Look up, my friends." He pointed to a higher part of the mountain. The snow leopard was perched on a rock. Her fur blended into the gray of the mountain and the clouds. She looked down at them. Jack was astonished. How did she get up there so fast, he wondered. It almost looked as if she'd vanished and then magically reappeared. Tenzin laughed. "She always likes to be seen one last time," he said. "I salute her," said Annie, bowing her head. "Me too," whispered Jack. Then the snow leopard was gone. When they looked up, she'd vanished as quickly as she'd appeared. Annie turned to Tenzin. "Thank you for helping us find the gray ghost," she said. "Thank you for showing me the letter from your friend Morgan," said Tenzin. He jumped to his feet and stretched out his arms. He looked younger and stronger now. "The day is going very well," he said proudly. "Let us go back down and join the others." Tenzin started hiking back down the slope. Jack and Annie followed him. Following Tenzin was much easier now than before. Heading down the slope, Jack and Annie stayed close behind him. If he got too far ahead, he waited for them. By the time they reached Tenzin's hut, the cloud cover had started to lift. The day had grown warmer. "Let us go down into the village," said Tenzin. "Right," said Jack. He and Annie grabbed their red backpacks and pulled them on. When they turned around, they saw that Tenzin had already started down this path toward the village. "Tenzin, wait!" called Annie. Tenzin didn't seem to hear her. He kept walking. "Tenzin!" Jack shouted as they hurried to catch up with him. Tenzin stopped just as they came within sight of the village. "Look down below!" he called excitedly. "Oh, wow!" said Annie. Everything looked different now. The mountain village was no longer gloomy at all.